Settlement walls without holes, a user interface you can customize, and a little more boom in your boomstick. Welcome ladies and gentlemen to episode 4 of the Mod Vault. The first mod I'm going to show you in this video is a heads-up display mod called My HUD by BlueMaxDR. Now, it does several things to the heads-up display, as you can probably already see. And before I go any further, let me just say most of these options are exactly that. They are options. You can choose which ones you have. And even the ones that you can't currently choose, you may be able to choose by the time you watch this video, because this mod author is very active and has been updating this mod very often. So go and check the webpage, obviously there will be a link below, to see which options are current. I will show you here the current options available in this version. I am using version 3.0. You have probably already noticed that the compass has moved to the top of the screen, so it's positioned in a manner that's more similar to Skyrim. But you may not have noticed that the location markers are missing. The only marks you can see on the compass are actually quest markers, the ones I have set. I can also tell you that enemies will not appear on my compass. So in battle, when you're fighting enemies, you will not magically know where they are. You will have to actually find them with your eyes. It makes it a little tougher in combat, as you'll be trying to figure out where the enemy is going to come from. If you look down to the bottom left, you can see the health bar has been reduced quite considerably. It's nowhere near as intrusive as the vanilla one. And if I take out the weapon, you can see my ammo count is also a lot smaller. You might actually think it's a little too small. It is somewhat hard to read on very large monitors. So this is one of the things I would like to see another option for. Currently in version 3, there is no option on that. However, in version 2, the text was much larger. So I am hoping we do get some options there. This minimization has been applied to a lot of things. So as I get close to Piper, you can see the text saying Piper command is a lot smaller, a lot less intrusive. If she speaks, her subtitles and mine are both a lot smaller. So it's a little harder to read, again, if you are on a very large monitor that's far away. But if you are close to your screen, as I am, it's very easy to read, and it is a lot less intrusive. You can probably already see I have no crosshair with my pistol out. However, if I go into third person and aim, I get a dot crosshair. This is the option I have chosen. You can actually choose static crosshair, dynamic crosshair as per normal, or like this, no crosshair. But as you can see there, it doesn't stop me getting the command crosshair when I hover over Piper. It also doesn't remove the crosshair when I remove the weapon, when I holster the weapon, or if I go close to something so I can activate it. I would actually like to see an option where the dot crosshair was removed when the weapon is holstered as well, because to be honest with you, I've never totally understood why you would want a dot there, and it actually makes me want to keep my weapon out. You can even disable things like the hit indicators, the enemy health bar, and my personal favourite, you can disable the stealth indicator, so you've no idea whether you're being detected or not. You have to figure it out for yourself. If you're looking for a little more control over the heads-up display and something a little less intrusive than the vanilla one, this mod is a great option. And option is the word for this mod. It has a lot of them. It's very easy to install. You choose the options that you want from a very friendly and easy to use installer, and as I've said, the mod author keeps updating the mod, so it's probably only going to keep getting better. If you are a fan of the double barrel shotgun, you may want to check out the scratch made texture mod by Millennia. For those of you that do not know, Millennia is a well-known weapon texture modder who has lots of mods to his name, and his first mod for Fallout 4 is up to his usual great standard. This weapon looks far better with this texture mod. It's higher quality, it has better details, and just all round looks more realistic and, in my opinion, far superior. I am hoping this is just the first of many such mods by this mod author, as I am a big fan of his work and there are a lot of weapons I would like to see get this sort of treatment. Staying with the double barrel shotgun for now, there is also a mod that replaces the sound. It's called Double Barrel Shotgun Sound Replacer by Marksman of the Zone, and it pretty much does that. It takes the vanilla sound and it adds a little more oomph to it. The new sound seems to have a little more bass, a little more boom. It's not a radical difference, but it just feels a little stronger. Again, it is a personal preference, but I really do like the way this weapon sounds. One of the cool and yet flawed features of the Fallout 4 Pip-Boy are the quest animations. If you go along to the quest section in your Pip-Boy, there is usually a little animated picture for the quest, and very often it contains minor spoilers, in fact sometimes fairly major spoilers. You can often figure out exactly what is going to happen in the quest, and if you don't like that, you might want to check out a mod called Spoiler-Free Quest Animations. This simple mod by Beaker just replaces those spoiler animations with a very neutral thumbs up Vault Boy image that gives you pretty much no information about the quest. It's not a big change, and honestly I didn't really spend that much time looking at those animations anyway, so I feel I've lost nothing except the slight chance of a spoiler. And on a related note, there is also a mod called No Load Screen Spoilers, which will remove any of those load screen images you get where it gives you information that you might not already know. It might talk about weapons you've not quite discovered, and it replaces them with only the perk information, the information you already have. So if you really don't want any hints of anything that you've not discovered, you might want to try that mod as well. The last mod I'm going to show you in this video is one for the settlement builders out there, and it's a mod that fixes a problem you probably know and hate, and that is the problem of trying to place things like fences close enough together so that you get an unbroken, beautifully defensive wall. In the vanilla game, for those of you that don't know, in the vanilla game it's actually ridiculously hard to place these walls in a way where there are no gaps. There are some wall pieces that are better than others, but very few of them are actually perfect. In fact, especially if you do things like try to go around corners, if it's uneven ground, that type of thing, you end up having to have fairly large gaps. Even here where I can get it pretty damned close, you can spend quite a lot of time getting it as close as possible, and you still end up with these annoying gaps. You can actually use the console and the no clipping mode to place them better. However, obviously that is not the best thing. But with a mod called Simple Intersection, you should be able to place these items a lot closer together without having to do any clipping. What the mod actually allows you to do is place items slightly into each other, as you can see here. Not completely, but slightly. And you can sort of merge them in such a way that there is an unbroken wall. As you can see now, without using the clipping command, I've now got an unbroken wall, and it looks pretty good, and it makes it a lot easier to use different wall pieces. One of the things I found in the vanilla game was one particular piece of wall was easier to get closer to other pieces that were the same, and so I used that, which made the wall very boring. This time I've used a lot of different pieces, and it is a completely unbroken wall. Perhaps that's the... well, even that's unbroken. This will actually allow you to merge items that should probably not have been merged in a manner that can be, well, fairly ugly, obviously, but that's pretty much up to you, and I can't imagine this harming your game in any way other than making you a little nauseous when looking at your own building. You can still... you still get that snap effect when you put items close together, and it's still very easy to build buildings. It doesn't seem to want to let me merge or place these two walls close to each other. This is a metal wall, this is a junk wall. There still needs to be some separation, at least on one of the sides. This side, less of a problem actually. So you are still probably going to have to be a little creative with some of the structures. You won't get absolutely everything you want, but you will get them a lot closer and a lot neater than you've been getting previously. In fact, the only real problem I have with this mod is that now I'm going to have to go back and fix my ugly wall. That could take me quite some time. And I'm afraid, ladies and gentlemen, that is all we have time for this week. I will of course be back next week with plenty more mods to show you. You are more than welcome to join me for that video, and I look forward to seeing you there. But until then, remember, as always, have fun. If you're curious as to whether I've covered a mod in one of my videos, feel free to go along to my website gophersvids.com and check the search functionality out. Just type the name of the mod you're interested in, open up the settings and filter by mods only. Click for search and you will see whether or not I've covered that mod. Click on the mod and it will also show you any of the videos this mod appears in.